पुरुषां तमहं भजामि गोविन्दं आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Thank you.
जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्री प्रभुपाद.
Hare Krishna, Smriti. So good to have you. कैसे हैं आप?
हरे कृष्णा वरुण जी, ऑल
अरे
गुड. आप कैसे हो?
बहुत अच्छे. थैंक यू सो
Good.
मच. आज मॉर्निंग में आपसे मुलाकात नहीं हो पाई.
हम्म.
चलिए, तो थैंक यू
अब आप
जी.
बोला आप लास्ट 1 या 2 हफ्ते से मिले नहीं है CWC में.
ट्रू. होपफुली सून. भगवान ने चाहा तो बहुत जल्द मुलाकात करेंगे.
या
हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू सो मच. हमारा टाइम हो गया है, तो हम यूजुअली टाइम से शुरू करते हैं और डिवोटी धीरे 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 जुड़ते हैं. हम ऑलरेडी यूट्यूब के ऊपर लाइव हैं, और जैसे हम अपने सेशंस इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों में रखते हैं, और भक्त लोग अपनी सुविधा के हिसाब से ज्वाइन होते हैं. तो आई होप many other devotees will join, and those who have joined on YouTube live, Hare Krishna, my Danvat pranams to everyone. And these are the darshans from London Manor, Bhaktivedant Manor, and it's 8 o'clock there, and 7 o'clock the what we say Guru Puja starts. So this is the darshan. This is darshan arti in London Temple. We call it Bhaktivedant Manor, and now because it's 8 in London, so we have the lecture going on. So if I will make it live, then we will see the lecture is going on. But we will resume back. So I will share our slides, which we have been doing. So if anyone has any question on anything we have been discussing in the past, feel free. As we always say, feel free to think anytime you like, and it's always a pleasure. And Vaibhav Prabhuji is also with us. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so good to have you. I hope you are doing well.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Haribo. So we are just going to do the Mangalacharan, take the blessings of the Lord, and then we shall resume our session today. Hare Krishna. So let's go for it. Feel free to join if you like. And maybe today we will see the meaning of each and every word on this slide. So every time when we do the Mangalacharan, we always do the Mangalacharan before we start the sessions. So whenever we do Mangalacharan, it's really great if we could understand what we're saying here. I think that goes, as we say, the Lord understands the Bhava. And the Bhava, what we are thinking. So I think it's really good to understand it, but we will see. We will see. So for now, feel free to join me if you like. Om. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं. वन्दे हम श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव महाराज की जय। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone back again. Everyone here in Zoom, everyone there on YouTube Live. I get lots of comments, lots of messages. So thank you so much. And it's always good to be in the engagement. What we do, and how are we getting further in our spiritual progress. So let's share the slides where we were. What we actually finished. This is the fourth session in this new series of Bhagavad Gita. We have done Bhagavad Gita before. And we have just started. And we started based on few devotees who asked for it. And even though they are not here at the moment. But this is the beauty of the class, that it's, even though we go session after session, every session, but now and then if somebody can't join, that's okay, because we could always catch up and remind each other again and again and again and again. So the Shastras, they have done it. ISKCON Acharya, founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ji have done it. And because we try to follow the same principle, we try to do the similar thing. Now, right, we always say that we do both in English and Hindi. सभी हिंदी भाषी भक्तों का भी स्वागत है। कुछ भक्तों से बात हुई वीक में, तो उन्होंने कहा कि अगर आप हिंदी में करें तो हमें बहुत आनंद आए। तो हमने कहा बहुत अच्छा है, हम इंग्लिश और हिंदी में दोनों में ही करने की कोशिश करते हैं सेशन को। तो हमने जो अभी मंगलाचरण किया, मंगलाचरण से पहले हमने ओम का उच्चारण किया। ओम, बहुत लोग मेडिटेशन वृंदावन में राधे राधे करके ग्रीट करते हैं। ऐसे काफी लोग हरिओम करके ग्रीट करते हैं। तो हरि भगवान का नाम है, ओम एक ट्रांसेंडेंटल साउंड हम मानते हैं। तो ओम का महत्व, बहुत सारे हमारे उपनिषद हुए हैं, और पहले वेद, फिर उपनिषद, फिर पुराण। तो ये हमने पहली क्लास में शेयर किया था। अगर आप लोग नहीं थे तो आप वो रिकॉर्डिंग पीछे जाके देख सकते हैं। जब 108 हमारे पास में उपनिषद हैं, 108 उपनिषद में से 10 मेन उपनिषद हैं। उसमें से जो सबसे छोटा और सबसे इंटेंस उपनिषद है वो मांडुक्य उपनिषद है। रामायण के अंदर वर्णन आता है, जब भगवान राम ने पूछा, भगवान राम और हनुमान जी की बात हो रही थी, और जब इसके अंदर हनुमान जी ने कुछ पूछा, भगवान राम ने कुछ कहा, और फिर हनुमान जी ने कहा कि अच्छा, किसी को अगर ये भी ना समझ में आए तो क्या करना चाहिए। फिर उन्होंने कुछ और एग्जांपल दिया। उन्होंने कहा अगर सिर्फ एक चीज हमको पढ़नी हो तो क्या होनी चाहिए। तो उन्होंने कहा कि वो हमारा मांडुक्य उपनिषद होना चाहिए। लेकिन उस टाइम पर वो बहुत इंटेंस है, इसलिए वैष्णव हम कहते हैं कि हमको भागवतम पुराण पढ़नी चाहिए, जिसके अंदर डिटेल से चीजें समझा रखी हैं। लेकिन अगर कोई समझ पाए तो मांडुक्य उपनिषद भी बहुत है, उसके अंदर ओम का बहुत महत्व बताया है। ऑलमोस्ट ऐसा है कि आधा पांडु के जो वो ओम के ऊपर है। और एक और हमारा मेन मेजर 10 उपनिषद में से एक आता है कठोपनिषद। कठोपनिषद के अंदर जो पहली स्टोरी शुरू होती है वो नचिकेता की स्टोरी शुरू होती है। अगर आप कभी टेम्पल्स, बहुत सारे टेम्पल्स हैं, लेकिन गुजरात के अंदर एक टेम्पल है स्वामी नारायण टेम्पल, उसमें जो गांधीनगर के अंदर आता है, वहां पे इवनिंग में एक लाइट शो होता है और उस शो के अंदर एक स्टोरी दिखाई जाती है। वो स्टोरी कठोपनिषद से नचिकेता की ली हुई है। नचिकेता भगवान यमराज से मिलते हैं और फिर नचिकेता और यमराज के बीच में क्या कन्वर्सेशन होती है। और नचिकेता 3 वरदान मांगते हैं उनसे, वो खुद कहते हैं कि आप 3 वरदान हमसे मांगे। तो नचिकेता पहला, दूसरा, तीसरा, जो तीसरा है वो मेन होता है। तीसरे के अंदर वो पूछते हैं कि मृत्यु के बाद क्या है, उसका सत्य क्या है, जो ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो हमेशा सत्य रहती है, क्योंकि हमें मालूम बाकी सारी चीजें, स्पेशली इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में, हम सुनते हैं, बोलते हैं, शरीर धीरे धीरे बढ़ता है और एक दिन मृत्यु को प्राप्त हो जाता है। जैसे कि भगवत गीता के अंदर हम देखेंगे, न हन्य ते हन्य माने शरीर, कि आत्मा है जो अमर है, शरीर जो है वो कभी भी नहीं आता। और ऐसे होता है जैसे कि आत्मा शरीर बदलती है, बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से जैसे कि हमारे मौसम बदलते हैं। तो इसके अंदर अगर हम देखें तो हमें ये पता लगता है कि ओम का क्या महत्व है। और ओम के महत्व से हम जब भी सेशन शुरू करते हैं, हम ओम की ध्वनि से शुरू करने की कोशिश करते हैं, ताकि हमको वो सारा एसेंस जो है वो मिल पाए। क्योंकि जब नचिकेता ने पूछा तो सबसे पहली चीज यमराज ने बताई थी कि अगर एक ही चीज एब्सोल्यूट है तो वो ओम है। फिर उन्होंने ऑब्वियसली और आगे डिटेल में पूछा तो उन्होंने फिर भगवान के बारे में बताना शुरू किया। तो इस तरीके से हमारे ग्रंथ हैं, जिसके अंदर अभी हम देखेंगे जब भगवत गीता के हम श्लोक शुरू करेंगे, उसके अंदर भी चैप्टर 2 के अंदर भगवान पूरी समरी भगवत गीता की बता देते हैं। लेकिन फिर अर्जुन डिटेल में पूछते हैं तो फिर भगवान कहते हैं अच्छा चलो अब मैं चैप्टर 3 के अंदर कर्म योग बताता हूँ, चलो अब मैं चैप्टर 4 के अंदर क्या ज्ञान योग बताता हूँ, अब मैं चैप्टर 5 के अंदर 3 और 4 को जोड़ के बताता हूँ कि ज्ञान से कर्म कैसे करना चाहिए। फिर चैप्टर 6 में ध्यान योग, और फिर 7 से शुरू हो जाती है 12 तक हमारा भक्ति योग, फिर 13 से 18 तक हमारा ज्ञान योग। इस तरीके से हम भगवद गीता को समझ सकते हैं। पर आए हम आगे देखते हैं कि जो भगवद गीता हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, दे आर 400 different translations in the market, in industry. When we go out and we ask for it, we meet different people, but the one we have been following, and this is the one being followed by Hare Krishna movement, by ISKCON all over the world. And this is the one which is the most widely available Bhagavad Gita wherever you will go. And there was a movie, Oh My God, and in the beginning they were distributing Bhagavad Gita. And if you will notice, they were distributing exactly this Bhagavad Gita as it is, by ISKCON founder Acharya. And we will see what's in it. This is the preface, and this is a lovely Guru Maharaj, or everyone's Guru Maharaj in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada ji, who did the hard work to put together Bhagavad Gita. Now, what is there in this Bhagavad Gita, if you see? And Lakshman Prabhuji is there. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams to you. Thank you so much for joining. When the Vaishnavas join, you feel like you're blessed by their presence. And those who can't join because there are Navratri is also going on, there are so many things. So feel free. As we always say, it's a flexible session, but it's always good to have you around. So how this book is written, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Last time I shared Veda base. So if you have Veda base, of course you could get the Bhagavad Gita as it is. There is a temple in Dammam. We could go there, we could get it. If anyone of you would like to have a Bhagavad Gita as it is, then please let me know. I could arrange a book for you. Otherwise, it's available online as well these days. So Bhagavad Gita, what's there in Bhagavad Gita, how this Bhagavad Gita has been written before. So this is the preface of any book like we do, but then we will start verse by verse. So in this book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, we will see Prabhupada ji has given the original verse in Sanskrit. Now, any Bhagavad Gita, anywhere in the world, you will pick these Sanskrit verse should be the same. There is nothing different. There shouldn't be anything different, because this is what Krishna said. This is what Krishna said to Krishna and Arjuna. This is what they said to each other. But after that, if you will see that what we have is the verse in English. So the same verse, if you think, is exactly the same verse, but now it's written in English. So remember, Srila Prabhupada was preaching in India, but then he went to America. Americans could not read the Sanskrit verse, and a lot of us, we can't read it either. So what we do, we read the one in English, because most of the time English is the common language, international language, wherever we go. And after that, this also verse in English, we will find these days a lot of places. But this synonyms, English transliteration, word by word translation, it's very, very hard to find in other Bhagavad Gita translation. And this is what this translation makes it. This Bhagavad Gita, as it is by Srila Prabhupada ji, is very, very significant. And that's the reason most of the people, they find it very relevant. Because if somebody doesn't know Sanskrit, and somebody did actually say that I would like to teach myself Sanskrit, then Bhagavad Gita is one of the best way of doing it. Because what Prabhupada ji has done it, each and every word has been translated into English by Prabhupada ji, by word by word. Now, mind it, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, what we are following is in English. Hence, the translation are in English. But if you will pick Hindi, the translations are directly from Sanskrit to Hindi. If you will pick Bengali, Oriya, Gujarati, then the synonyms, they are in Gujarati. So the Sanskrit will be there, the English will be there, but along with that, the local, regional languages, whichever language we will pick, that will be there. But of course, we are following English. Hence, we will see, for example, Yada Yada is English transliteration, English translation of Yada Yada, and then whenever, wherever. So this is the literation, word by word translation of those Sanskrit words. And this way, a lot of people I've met, they say that we learn Sanskrit just by following Prabhupada ji's word by word translation. We will see a lot of things we learn by this. Then the translation is there. Of course, the translation is English because we are doing English, but whichever language you would like to follow, there are lots and lots of translation. Recently, I visited Vrindavan temple, Vrindavan, and then I went to Krishna Balaram temple, ISKCON temple, and there's a book distribution center where you can go and get books. Every ISKCON temple you will go, there's always a place for the books, because books are the biggest, one of the biggest assets we have in ISKCON, because the whole idea is to spread the understanding of Vedic culture. There in the bookshop on the right, the whole poster from top, from ceiling to the floor, was just pictures of different languages, the Bhagavad Gita as it is available. And I think there were like 18 or 20 of those minimum, but I'm sure there are many more, including one in Russia, Chinese, South Korean, and Arabic as well. So whichever language you will think, chances are that you will find one, like German, French, Spanish, they all are there. And they all have the temples, and they all have devotees. They're preaching in it. I personally, myself, because I was lucky enough to live in Paris. And in Paris, I have attended the lectures where the lectures were given by Paris, the French people, and the lecture was in French. So I had to sit somewhere where somebody was translating into English. There is always a translation in this case, English to Hindi, and then there was some Bangladeshi, so English to Bengali. Some small groups are around. So then the purport is also given. So this is, we will find any verse we will pick in Bhagavad Gita, and this is a significant combination which is very hard to find anywhere. So if you pick Veda based, and if you follow this, then there isn't anything else required. The only other thing we do after this is question and answers, which can't be there in the book because the question and answers vary. But the Bhagavad Gita itself is in the form of question and answers. But hence we have these sessions so we can discuss what we are thinking. So it's not that you only say when you have any question, but even when something is there in your mind, anything, and feel free to share. It could be a realization. So now moving on about Krishna conscious movement. So again, it's for those who might not even know, ISKCON is these days known worldwide, but still if somebody is not aware, then what Hare Krishna, or what it says, ISKCON, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So hence sometimes it's called Hare Krishna movement because we greet each other as Hare Krishna, or the idea is to spread Krishna consciousness. Krishna is the name of the Lord. In Bhagavatam, there is a verse which is written by Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas is the author, the compiler of all the Vedic literature. So if you consider yourself as Hindu, then you have to rely on the words of Veda because the whole Sanatan Dharma has been given by him. He's the one who put together the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Puranas, all the two big Mahakavyas. So what Ved Vyas says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ete Chamcha Krishna, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna, you are the Lord himself. Because there are around 40 incarnations. Of course, we know Dashavatar, 10 incarnations of the Lord, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a mention of 40. And then after, right at the end, then Ved Vyas says that, but out, these all are planet. Ete Chamsha Kalaha Pumsam. Like they are just part of the Lord. And who is the Lord? Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna himself is the Lord. So that's the reason when we say Krishna consciousness is basically what we're saying, Lord's consciousness, Bhagavan consciousness. And hence Krishna is so important. So we call it Hare Krishna. Right? So now what's going to happen in it? It says genuine, historically authorized movement. So it's not that Srila Prabhupada ji created ISKCON, but just an institute, but it's a part of Gaudiya Math, which has been there for a long time. Again, if you pick Hare Krishna ISKCON Bhagavad Gita as it is, and right at the end of introduction, and we'll see introduction, at the end of the verse is about to start. On the left, you will see a big, because there is a mention that Brahmaji, so Bhagavad Gita knowledge to someone, and how it reached from one person to another. The whole list is there. So hence, we say that Bhagavad Gita, as it is, which Srila Prabhupada put together, it's not just his own ideas, his own purpose, it's the Acharya's thesis, and then it's coming from what we call Guru Shishya Parampara. गुरु ने शिष्य को सुनाया, शिष्य ने शिष्य अब गुरु बना, उसने अपने शिष्य को सुनाया, और इस तरीके से गुरु परंपरा चलती रहती है. गुरु शिष्य परंपरा, गुरु disciple succession in English. Transcendental based on teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The word transcendental हम कई बार सुनेंगे. Transcendental हम कहते हैं जो कि 3 गुणों से परे है. तो हम we would notice very soon that in Bhagavad Gita it's been mentioned when Arjun will ask Krishna, Krishna will say, yes, indeed, it's a material world, and there are 3 material energies: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So सत्वगुण, रजोगुण, तमोगुण, ये 3 गुणों से हमारा शरीर बना है. हम जो भी कार्य करते हैं भगवद गीता के अंदर हम देखेंगे इतनी प्रैक्टिकल ग्रंथ, जिसके अंदर खाना कैसे खाना है, खाना कैसे इन 3 प्रकारों में खा सकते हैं. जब हम बुक पढ़ रहे हैं, कोई भी बुक, कोई भी स्टडी कर रहे हैं, किस तरीके से हम 3 बुक्स, 3 कैटेगरी में सभी बुक्स को डाल सकते हैं. हम दोस्त बना रहे हैं, इन 3 कैटेगरी में बना सकते हैं. यही शिक्षा अगर हम अपने बच्चों को दे पाएं, जब वो बाहर निकल के इस लायक बनेंगे कि उनको वो चूज कर सकते हैं किसको दोस्त बनाना है, किसको नहीं बनाना. भगवद गीता से वो वैदिक कल्चर की नॉलेज मिलती है, किसके साथ समय बिताना है, किसके साथ समय नहीं बिताना. तो हम कहते हैं ये ट्रांसेंडेंटल है. ट्रांसेंडेंटल मीन्स इन 3 गुणों से जो ऊपर है. तो अगर हम वी लिव इन मोड ऑफ इग्नोरेंस, हमें मालूम ही नहीं भगवान के बारे में, तो वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग वी शुड नो अबाउट भगवान, एंड दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग नाउ. Then we live in passion. Passion is when we really want to do. And most of us are, if we are not in ignorance, we are in passion. Passion is we would like to make it great at our work. We would like to, when people do fashion, they love to do fashion. When people like to work, they get heavily involved there. People like to enjoy Saturday, Sundays, or Friday, Saturday. They would really immerse themselves into that. That's Raja. Sports people, cricketers, Bollywood, Hollywood, or any of the creation, when people are really what we call passionate, they work in mode of passion. We call it Rajogun. But then there is a Satogun, which is the nature of sannyasi, the sages, or the priest, the Brahmins. They are supposed to have Satogun. So Tamogun, which we should ignore. We should never have that ignorance. And then we have Rajogun, which we should control. When to speak, when not to speak. When to be passionate, when not to be passionate. Right? Then we have mode of goodness, which we should always increase. So again, mode of ignorance, we should avoid. Mode of passion, we should have a control over it. Mode of Satogun, mode of goodness, we should always try every day, little by little, we should always try to increase it. And there are various means of doing it. Attending these sessions, and these sessions are not only by me, but many of the devotees. As I say, we in the beginning, we were taking the darshans of Hare Krishna Bhaktivedanta banner in London. Those darshans are available every day. Mayapur TV is there, and Mayapur TV website is there. You will see all the ISKCON, well, majority of the ISKCON temples, they have the cameras, and the live darshans are available, which means 24/7. Whenever you would like to have live darshan, they are there on Mayapur TV, because one or another temple always having darshans open, because there are so many temples all over the world just by ISKCON, and the classes are going on. And certainly the Zoom classes are going on. YouTube live are there, where you can ask the questions as well if you like. So it's part of the discussion what you need to become, and gradually become very popular. So what we say, it's like we should, whatever we do, slowly, gradually we should do it. And of course, Hare Krishna is Krishna conscious movement is the same. There was a time only some people used to do it, but now you will notice even the youngsters are doing it. People even from childhood, they get involved, and they're getting spiritual. And spiritual, of course, they see the changes in their life, how drastically their life changed for good. Of course. So this we learn out of it. Original father of the movement, which we said there's Srila Prabhupada ji of his Krishna, but we will see that Srila Prabhupada ji wasn't the real. He was the founder of ISKCON, but he wasn't the real founder of the Krishna conscious movement, because he gives all the credit to his guru, and that's the picture of his guru. So his guru gave him Krishna consciousness, and he's spreading. So there was an anecdote, when Srila Prabhupada ji went to America, and by then Swami Vivekananda ji and many other sages been to America. So at the airport, they of course saw Prabhupada ji, and they say, "Wow, hang on, what you want to do? You are here to spread the name of the God. God sent you here. You are God sent man," because all other people used to say that. And he said, "No, I'm here to fulfill the desires of my Guru Maharaj. My teacher has sent me here. So I'm there." And throughout his life, he maintained it. Whenever somebody praised him, he always said, "I take all these praises and give those praises. I offer those praises to my Guru Maharaj. Whatever I get is just because of him. And because of his blessings, I'm able to do something like a service." So his guru was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and his title was also Prabhupada. So we always, and this is part of the movement, that we always, whenever something good happens, we always offer that to our Guru Maharaj. And this is the parampara. This is a list you will see in the Bhagavad Gita. So what we say, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. The reference from Bhagavad Gita, I said it, which means, so they are demigods. So Krishna is the Lord. He has given the powers for the Varun Dev, and then Vayu Dev, and then Yamraj, Indra, Agni, they have their departments to look after, right? But Krishna is the one who gives the powers. Krishna will explain that to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. We will see Krishna and his inner spirit in non-different. We are also part of Krishna. Hence, we also have the qualities of Krishna, which is Satyachit Ananda. So we are Satyachit Ananda. The only trouble is we don't remember. Hence, throughout the spirituality, the whole idea is we will realize our true nature of Satchitanand and we will become so happy. And hence, you will see devotees all over the place. They are always happy. Not that they don't have the miseries going on. And we will see that there are three types of miseries. तीन तरीके के, तीन प्रकार के कलेश जो हमारे जीवन में आते हैं, वो भगवद गीता में समझाए हुए हैं। ऐसा नहीं है कि भक्तों के ऊपर वो पीड़ाएं नहीं आती हैं, भक्तों को भी शरीर से दर्द होता है, मानसिक रूप से प्रॉब्लम होती है, दूसरों के आसपास जो लोग होते हैं, घर परिवार में या आसपास के जहाँ पे भी वो रहते हैं, उनकी वजह से ट्रबल हो सकती है, नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स हो सकते हैं। ये तीन प्रकार के जो होते हैं, ये तीनों से भक्तों को भी प्रभाव पड़ता है। लेकिन भक्त को अपनी भक्ति पर, भगवान की भक्ति पर हमेशा भरोसा होता है, तो वो हमेशा खुश होता है। उन्हें मालूम है कि जो भी गलत हो रहा है वो मेरे ही पुराने गलत कर्मों की वजह से हो रहा है, और जो भी अच्छा हो रहा है वो भगवान की मर्जी की वजह से होता है। इसलिए भक्त ना ही कभी घमंड कर पाता है, ना ही कभी दुखी हो पाता है। हाँ, दर्द जरूर होता है, बॉडली दर्द हो सकता है बुखार हो जाए, तो कोई पूछेगा दर्द हो रहा है, बहुत दर्द हो रहा है, लेकिन क्या दुखी हो? नहीं, इसमें दुख की क्या बात है, ये तो शरीर है। भगवत गीता में भगवान ने कहा है दुखाल्यम आशाश्वतम, कि ये तो दुखालय है, तो यहाँ पे तो दुख मिलने ही मिलने हैं। और हम अपनी सारी अपने और अपने आसपास के सबके एक्सपीरियंस से भी ये देख सकते हैं। सो कृष्णा इज एब्सोल्यूट मीन्स दैट ही इज नॉट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम हिज नेम, फॉर्म, क्वालिटी एंड पास टाइम। हम कहते हैं नाम रूप गुण, ये तीन चीजें कहते हैं भगवान की जो है। नाम, रूप और गुण अगर हम बात करें तो वो बिल्कुल ऐसे जैसे कि भगवान से ही डिफरेंट है ही नहीं। इसलिए जब हम हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र करते हैं, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। तो ये एक बार ऐसा हुआ कि प्रभुपाद जी ने अपने किसी शिष्य को कहा आज का लेक्चर आप दो, तो वो लेक्चर दे रहे थे। उन्होंने कहा ये जो हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र है इसके अंदर भगवान का वास है, तो प्रभुपाद जी ने वहीं पर रोक लिया। भगवान ने कहा कहाँ वास है? हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र में 16 वर्ड्स हैं, तो पहले के चार में, बीच के चार में, आखिरी के चार में कहाँ पे भगवान का वास है? वो शिष्य भी कंफ्यूज हो गया। कहते प्रभुपाद जी लेकिन ये तो आपने ही कहा था। तो उन्होंने कहा मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र में भगवान का वास है। हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र जो है वो भगवान की ही मैनिफेस्टेशन है, वो भगवान ही है। जैसे हम श्रीमद् भागवतम उठाते हैं, तो श्रीमद् भागवतम जो है वो भगवान ही है। भगवान जब बुक फॉर्म में आते हैं तो वो भागवतम के रूप में होते हैं। भगवान जब नाग के रूप में तो वो शेषनाग के रूप में। भगवान जब कलयुग के अंदर स्पेशली जब वर्ड के रूप में आते हैं तो वो मंत्र के रूप में, वो हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र के रूप में आते हैं। तो जब हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र का जाप कर रहे हैं तो हम भगवान के साथ ही हैं। तो यहाँ पे लिखा है नाम, रूप और गुण। तो जिस तरीके से हम भगवान से जब जाते हैं मंदिर के अंदर, जो भगवान की स्थापना हुई होती है, तो वो भगवान का स्टैचू में भगवान ही है। इसी तरह से जब हम भगवान के गुणों की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो वो भगवान वहां पे हमारे साथ में प्रेजेंट है। इस भाव से एक भक्त अपना जीवन व्यतीत करने की कोशिश करता है। इसलिए उसको बहुत अजीब लगता है जब कोई कहता है भगवान कहाँ है। और ये स्टोरी हम देखते हैं कि नरसिम्हदेव की प्रहलाद महाराज जो थे, उनके वो विष्णु भगवान की पूजा करते थे, लेकिन उनके पिता थे हिरण्यकशिपु, वो उनको कह रहे हैं कि बंद करो, मेरी पूजा करो। वो कहते नहीं, भगवान विष्णु की मैं पूजा करता हूँ, आपकी भी सारी शक्तियां भगवान विष्णु से आती हैं, आपको भी उनकी पूजा करनी चाहिए। तो गुस्से में कहते हैं इतना विष्णु करता है, कहाँ है वो विष्णु? तो वो कहते हैं कहाँ नहीं है विष्णु भगवान, सब जगह है। हर चीज की जो एग्जिस्टेंस है वो भगवान की वजह से है। तो वो कहते हैं अच्छा हर जगह है तो क्या इस पिलर के अंदर भी है? और जैसे हम जानते हैं वो कहते हैं हाँ ऑफ कोर्स हर जगह है, इस पिलर में भी है। तो ये एक भक्त की कॉन्विक्शन होती है, एक ट्रस्ट, एक विश्वास होता है। और जब हिरण्यकश्यप ने कहा अच्छा इस पिलर के अंदर अगर भगवान है तो ये पिलर ही तोड़ देता हूं मैं, जब उन्होंने पिलर तोड़ा तो उसी के अंदर से नरसिंह भगवान आए और उन्होंने हिरण्यकश्यप का वध किया और प्रहलाद महाराज को सेव किया। तो इसलिए हमें समझना चाहिए कि जो हम स्टोरीज भी सुनते हैं ये भगवान हर जगह है, इसलिए भक्त भगवान की हर जगह हमेशा भगवान को फील कर सकता है। This absolute position of the Krishna is difficult to understand if someone is not a devotee in परंपरा। परंपरा हम कहते हैं जैसे कि अगर किसी को मेडिकल डिग्री करनी है, इंजीनियरिंग डिग्री करनी है, तो वो ऐसा नहीं है कि मार्केट में जाएगा और बुक लेके आ जाएगा और घर से इंजीनियरिंग और मेडिकल या सीए की पढ़ाई शुरू कर देगा। वो किसी रिप्यूटेड कॉलेज के अंदर, यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर एडमिशन लेंगे और वहां पे लेने के बाद में फिर एक जो रिप्यूटेड वहां के टीचर हैं उनको पढ़ाएंगे, फिर वहां से एग्जाम होंगे, टेस्ट होंगे, फिर डिग्री मिलेगी और फिर कोई कहेगा कि ये डिग्री मैंने उस यूनिवर्सिटी से करी है जो वहां की मिनिस्ट्री से ऑथेंटिकेटेड है। जितने भी लोग मिडिल ईस्ट के अंदर है वो समझते हैं यहाँ आने से पहले सारी डिग्री आपको एक्रीडेट करवानी पड़ती हैं, टेस्ट करवानी पड़ती हैं। तो उसके अंदर हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि वो कहीं किसी ऑथेंटिक जगह से होना चाहिए। वो ऑथेंटिक जगह को वैदिक कल्चर के अंदर हम परंपरा कहते हैं। तो भागवतम के अंदर वर्णन है, हमारे पुराणों में वर्णन है, 4 है जो शुद्ध ट्रस्टेड परंपराएं हैं। और जो इस्कॉन गौड़िया मठ है वो उसी में से एक ब्रह्मा माधवा गौड़िया मठ, जिसका पार्ट, एक छोटा सा पार्ट एक इस्कॉन है, ये उन चारों में से एक है। तो हमको समझना चाहिए कि ऐसा नहीं कि अगर हमें भगवत गीता पढ़नी है, अच्छा है हम मार्केट में जाए कोई भी भगवत गीता लेके आ जाए, लेकिन जब हम भगवत गीता एज इट इज लिए हमने और फिर हम भक्तों के साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं तो फिर वो ऐसे है कि जैसे हम एक इंस्टीट्यूट के पार्ट हो गए हैं और उस इंस्टीट्यूट के अंदर हम एक रिकमेंडेड प्रोसेस से जा रहे हैं। इसलिए इसको हम कह रहे हैं डिसाइपल सक्सेशन। और ये सक्सेशन आप देखेंगे ये भगवान से शुरू हुआ है, फिर ब्रह्मा जी से, नारद जी से, और उसके बाद में बाकी जो के जो गुरु महाराज जी हैं, और जो हमने आखिरी में देखा भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी जी महाराज जो कि शिला प्रभुपाद जी के गुरु थे, और फिर शिला प्रभुपाद जी ने वो आगे दिए जो भी ज्ञान था। तो ये इसको हम कह रहे हैं डिसाइपल सक्सेशन, परंपरा जो भगवान से चलती आ रही है। तो जो भगवत गीता हम पढ़ रहे हैं ये परंपरा गतित है, ये ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी ने कभी भी लिख दी। जैसे कि कोई भी भगवत गीता पढ़ के अपना परपट बना सकता है, लेकिन कोई किसी ने ऐसी कोई बुक लिख दी और किसी, तो वो नॉवल हो सकता है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, हम कहानी के रूप में पढ़ सकते हैं उसको। या कोई जैसे अगर कोई साइंटिफिक पेपर भी लिखता है तो उसको पीयर रिव्यू के लिए रिलीज करना पड़ता है कि पीयर्स, बाकी इंडस्ट्री के लोग क्या सोचते हैं। तो इसी तरीके से एक परंपरा से निकला हुआ एक ऑथेंटिक माना जाता है। तो इंटरप्रिटेशन जो भगवत गीता की है वो बहुत ही परंपरा गतित है, सिर्फ श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की नहीं, बाकी जितने भी आचार्य हुए हैं उनसे भी आई है। तो अब हम देखेंगे कि भगवत गीता का पर्पस क्या है, पर उससे पहले क्या किसी का कोई प्रश्न है, कोई कुछ कहना चाहता है, किसी की कोई अपना एक्सपीरियंस हो, कहीं पे भी किसी ने भी कुछ भगवत गीता कभी आपने ली हो, भगवत गीता थोड़ी सी पढ़ी हो। हरे कृष्ण। चले, हमारी कोशिश रहती है कि सेशंस हमारे इंगेजिंग हो, इसलिए हम वैसे तो हमेशा कहते हैं कि कभी भी वर्चुअल हैंड उठा सकते हैं, चैट में कुछ कह सकते हैं, अदरवाइज अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके कभी भी कुछ कह सकते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी कोशिश ये रहती है कि बीच में हम रुकें और किसी का कोई प्रश्न है वो ले सकें, किसी की कोई रियलाइजेशन है वो ले सकें। रियलाइजेशन ऐसे कि भाई आपने देखा कि भगवत गीता का किसी की लाइफ में क्या फर्क पड़ा हो, भगवत गीता से आपकी अपनी लाइफ में क्या फर्क पड़ा हो। लास्ट हम फ्राइडे एंड सैटरडे दोनों दिन सेशन करते हैं। फ्राइडे यूके टाइम से 8 o'clock, सऊदी टाइम से 10 o'clock, एंड सैटरडे यूके टाइम से 9:30 एंड सऊदी टाइम से 11:30। इसके अंदर हम ये देख सकते हैं कि the session last time there was a friend of mine who with whom we did Bhagavad Gita together roughly 6-7 years back, and he was giving the example how his life transformed by the wisdom. If you were there last Saturday, so at the end of Saturday session, he shared his story. So if any of you stayed back, because after the class finished, then we discussed with him. But it's really, really, really important. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Prabhuji, please.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी ये मेरी स्टोरी नहीं है बट it's related I mean it's my son so I just wanted to share so you know I'm a vegetarian from almost like more than 20-25 years I think I turned vegetarian in fact and I was like when my son was growing up I tried to he was very young I mean till he was 6-7 years old till COVID I used to try and convince him to be vegetarian but he always used to be like when I used to because I did you know I used to travel a lot so whenever I used to be there he would be vegetarian but then the moment I leave he would be something else and then during COVID we had this Bhagavad Gita courses from you know there were like 18-day courses so every day 1 hour
Yep.
and then one day it was like I think chapter on vegetarianism so this was definitely for kids. And what happened is, I think he was regularly attending it because in COVID there was no other means of or modes of you know entertainment or like going out was totally. It was not possible because this was when I was in Bombay. And then that day he came, and after the session he told me, "Dad, I'll be vegetarian from today." And I was okay, son. You know, like I've been trying to
Very
convince
good.
you for the last 6-7 years, but
Mm-hmm.
you haven't heard it. Let's see, like how far you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the day it's almost now 4 years now or since
Very
that
good.
it's 4 or 5 years he has completely he has turned vegetarian and he has to such an extent that he hasn't even allowed his younger brother to have anything otherwise so
Very
I'm
nice.
really I don't know you know what the mataji because it was a mataji one of the mataji who I think who was running this course and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what really like she said and what impacted him but he I mean that day was the one when he came and said he will be a vegetarian and till today like he definitely doesn't go towards it or doesn't even allow anyone he knows or he from the family to have it.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing. And of course, this is very personal. It's you share the story of your elder son. Not only that, he transformed, but he also impacted his younger brother's lifestyle as well. And this is what happens. So we say in the spiritual part, the A, B, C, D, like the beginning letters of our learning, it starts from A for association, then B for Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, book reading, C for chanting, D for the diet, what we eat. But the very first thing is in association. If we are in the correct association, appropriate association, then we will start reading books, we will start chanting, and we will start having the diet. Hence, that's the reason most of us, well, the devotees try to eat not outside, inside, because when you eat outside, you don't know what other person's consciousness was when the person was preparing the food. And then the food was not offered to the Lord, because when we offer the Lord food to Lord, then that's Mahaprasad. But when we bring that back and mix it with the rest of the prasad, the rest of the food, then that food becomes prasad. That it's we always remember, and when we eat that prasad, that helps clear our consciousness. That is not a lot of time people say, oh, well, I deserve it. I need to have a treat today. And they go out. And when think of the consciousness when they are eating it, that because I did something well, hence I deserve it. But no, what we are saying here is that thank you, Krishna. We offer it to you because the skills, the knowledge, the experience, and the life you have given to us. Because of that, we are fortunate enough to earn enough money to put the food on the table. So this is association, and thank you so much for sharing that, Prabhuji, that your elder brother, and this is what parents do, get your kids to the best association that you could. And like what you gave the example of your kids. And I remember I used to do, unfortunately, due to the travel, but the kids sessions, and some of the kids you will see the examples they will share, and they are of course a bit more open compared to the adults, because adults think what others will think about it, but kids are so open, and hence they are much easier to mold. Hence we should always try to get our kids engaged in spirituality. And that's another thing which Srila Prabhupada put together, the activities for kids. My own kids, born in London, they couldn't speak Hindi properly, but they could recite Sanskrit verses. The only reason that happened, because they heard their parents reciting it. Hence, it's again a great example of association. So first we take the association of devotees, then we give the association to others, especially to our kids. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that example. And I'm so glad that not only your elder brother, but your elder son, but your younger son is also now vegetarian. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Right. And a few other devotees have joined. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranams. So we are in the last 10 minutes of this session. And what we have started a new series. And what Prabhuji was mentioning, Vaibhav Prabhuji just shared, we also did that series. And we called it 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita in 18 sessions. So 18 chapters in 18 sessions, in 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita in 18 hours. So every day you come along and you do discuss one session. So some of those who can't take time for the Bhagavad Gita for all, so these 18 days are very important for them. And sometimes we do during this period, because well, the last quarter, because at the end around Christmas time is when book distribution happens. Well, the whole month of December is for book distribution, but well, the whole year is there for book distribution, but book distribution marathon begins in December and concludes right at the end. So sometimes devotees do the last 3-4 months of the year as those 18 days, 18 chapters. So maybe we will do one day as well. But currently we have started a new series of Bhagavad Gita. We are going to go slow in that. We will see verse by verse. We have spent 3 sessions on setting the scene. So if any one of you missed it, it's there. And this is the preface, what Bhagavad Gita is, how it's been important, and how Srila Prabhupada put it together, right? And this is probably, yes. So this is probably the second last slide in the deck, which is about the purpose. That it's in the gist, like what we have a car, a washing machine. It's very practical what we learn. Like what I was saying, the knowledge we gain, the understanding we gain, the food we should, places we should travel, the friends we should make, all these things and a lot more, they are divided into 3. And Bhagavad Gita will give you the examples that these things, these people, these habits, these food items, they fall into this category. Mode of ignorance, hence ignore it. Mode of passion, control it. Sometimes they are good, sometimes they are bad, based on our life circumstances. And then we have Satogur. Try your best to increase all of those. Best Satoguni friends, sages, visits to the temples, and doing the activities at home, like Navratri is going on. So each and every day is an opportunity, especially if you come from the Vedic culture, because there are so many different cultures going on, so many different festivities going on. So Bhagavad Gita. And we will see the life of Brahma, how is 8.6 billion years. And then this purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita, and we have to accept it as it is. Hence, Bhagavad Gita as it is. So what's the difference? Somebody asked me recently that why Srila Prabhupada said this is Bhagavad Gita as it is. What's the difference between this Bhagavad Gita and other Bhagavad Gitas? So the major difference is that other Bhagavad Gitas, most of the other Bhagavad Gitas, you will see whoever, like Srila Prabhupada ji explained in purpose here, whoever has given the purpose or commentaries or bhashya on the Sanskrit shlokas, they have said that Krishna is an avatar and there is something Brahman which is inside Krishna who is giving these teachings. And then Srila Prabhupada ji said it that Krishna never said in Bhagavad Gita anywhere that the Brahman within me giving you the teachings. Krishna throughout Bhagavad Gita said, I am giving you teachings. I am going to deliver you. I am the one you should be surrendering to. Right? So that's why Prabhupada ji said, I'm giving you the purpose as it is. I'm not predicting anything. I'm not interpreting anything. I'm just saying as it is. And we will see a lot of references given to the other Vedic Shastras like Upanishads and Puranas. In Bhagavad Gita it is. And then we should all hear it. It's the dialogue between a student and teacher. So Arjun becomes the student who is asking the questions not just for himself, but on behalf of us. Think about 5,500 years back, roughly, when the Kali Yuga started. Arjun asked these questions. These questions are still valid. We don't have any literature on this planet as old as this, which is still relevant, right? The questions Arjun asked, for example, it's hard for me to control my mind. How can I do it? Don't we say the same? Oh, well, I know these things are good. We should spend more time in chanting, do meditation, do yoga, don't eat outside a lot, do a little bit of exercise. But what shall I do when the weekend comes? The only thing I can think of is Netflix or maybe going out, eating food. But the spirituality is right at the bottom most of the time. Why? We will see the mind. The mind is not right at its place. Again, tomorrow's session, Saturday session. So today's session, 8 for those who joined a bit later. Today's session, every Friday, 8 a.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Saudi time for an hour. Tomorrow, every Saturday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. UK time and 11:30 to 12:30 Saudi time. And tomorrow's sessions, Saturday sessions are on Shri Ishopnishad, and we are just finishing up mantra 15 of 18 mantras. So we are right at the end of it. In that, we are discussing is how to control mind in detail. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given 2 ways to Arjun how we can control mind. Hence, it's very important for us to hear that. And not to leave you at a cliffhanger, what Krishna says, it's by diligence and practice. It's like repetitive practice. We just need to keep doing it. And that's how we can control mind. So abhyasa, Krishna says, abhyasa. And then abhyas of what? That's the thing. So these are 2 things. We need to do the abhyas of what? And then we can control of the mind. So this is the purpose of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, like what Weber Prabhuji just shared. It transforms our day-to-day life. The choices we make in our life, and those choices will make us healthy, wealthy, much, much, much more spiritual. And we will become much more happy. And most of the time, if we think about it, not only human beings, every living beings, including the plants, if you see, everyone is seeking happiness in one form or another. Some people think to buy the house is going to make them happy. To buy the bigger house, to buy the fancy and faster car, much bigger SUV, or to get a higher promoted, to get to the better employer, get the better benefits, get more money. Why? Or become more beautiful, or keep yourself young. Why? Because right at the end of the day, because all these things, all these concepts going to make us happy. right? Let's say if somebody say, oh, I have £1 million in my, or $1 million in my bank, and but I can't use it. Do you think that person will be happy? No. The person will say, okay, I can use it now. Good. You can use it, but the only things we can tell you. The person will be happy? No. We will say, just donate everything in the temple. The person says, no, I want my own choice. And they say, okay, your choice. What do you want to do? And anything the person will think to utilize that money for their happiness will be sense gratification, which will be the things like we shared. Let's go out on the holiday, which will start at one point and end at one point. Buy a new phone, iPhone 16. It will start at one point when initially we will get very excited. After a few days, nothing. And of course, few months later, 17 will come out. The happiness which iPhone 16 gave, gone, completely gone. And this is the diminishing power of the material things. But if you read Bhagavad Gita, if you go to the Kirtan, if you listen to the Kirtan, you see, doesn't really matter where you are, whenever you want to listen these days, you will feel the bliss. It's not the external. Of course, gradually, slowly, what happens? You can just close your eyes, or even with open eyes. So another sage said that the Lord is there with closed eyes and without, or with open eyes. And what kind of God that could be, who disappears when you open your eyes? So the God is always there. The Lord is always there. Krishna consciousness is always there. Whatever we do. And Srila Prabhupada ji taught us how to do it. How to do it successfully. Hare Krishna. We are running into the last minute of the session. Anyone would like to share anything else? Today we have covered the preface. And this is the end of preface. And next time we will start the introduction. And after introduction, we will start chapter 1 and we will go verse by verse. Every verse we will cover in every session. And we will see a lot of things will be repeated, because that's the nature of the learning, that we repeat again and again, like teachers do to the students, the parents do to the children. We go to the office and we learn same thing again and again and again and again. Abhyas, abhyas, abhyas. We hear it, we practice it, we become better, we become more for Krishna consciousness, we become much more happy and blissful. So anything which makes us temporarily happy, that's material. Anything which makes us spiritually blissful, always. Hare Krishna. If there isn't any question or any discussion point, then I would like to take your permission today. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for your presence, and I look forward to have you tomorrow if you could make it, otherwise next week. Thank you so much for your presence. Hare Krishna. Take good care of yourself. Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.